We have yet another major company cutting ties with Kanye West over what they're claiming to be anti-Semitic remarks. We all know, anybody with sense anyway, knows that these companies are cutting ties because he wore a White Lives Matter shirt, he spoke out against BLM, and he spoke positively about Donald Trump. That's why they're cutting ties. It has nothing to do with anti-Semitic remarks, which frequently comes from liberal institutions and Holly weirdos in Hollywood on a frequent and everyday basis. So it's just like with the sudden caring about Asian hate. You see, they've dropped that bullshit. You know, you don't hear Stop Asian Hate any longer. And again, this is just yet another excuse, pretending to defend a group as they typically do. Now, CAA is a major agency, just like the William Morris Agency, which has merged with Endeavor. And the CEO of Endeavor, which is Ari Emanuel, has already called on companies to separate from Kanye West. And again, William Morris Agency merged with Endeavor. And Ari is the CEO of that now. And the other major agency in Hollywood is CAA. And they have just dropped Kanye West. So he has the two major agencies in Hollywood that has dropped him. You know, dropped him from their association, affiliation, support. And quite frankly, this is what it looks like to actually be against the system. I mean, again, you'll have the Willie D's of the world act as if they're so against the system, but yet you will find out that they are represented by agencies like CAA and Endeavor. I mean, that's how these people get on these talk shows. Willie D was just a part of a Showtime show. Showtime, which is owned by Paramount. Paramount's founder, which is a descendant of the Chosen Ones. So again, all of these people who spout all this bullshit that they're speaking against Kanye West, specifically the pro-black blacks, they speaking against Kanye West because he's lost, he's trying to be white, especially the celebrity ones. All of these Negroes are serving this same so-called system that they claim to be against. And again, you can see who all these people are signed to as far as their representatives. And quite frankly, if you continue to believe that these people are against the system because they spouting like, oh, I hate white people all the time, then you're a fucking retard, quite frankly. Because you should have learned by now that these liberal Negroes spouting how much they hate white people is not a threat to them at all. Because first of all, these people are stupid that spout this nonsense. But second of all, when they're using the term white, they obviously are using the label to more so attack culture and civilization, which is why you see more often than not, when they're equating things that are non-white, which is the right way to go, they're equating it to low standards, which is why you see, you know, all of this affirmative action and lowering of academic standards being pushed as a positive thing. It's why you're seeing feminism and the alphabet sex cult agenda being pushed as anti-patriarchy, because the patriarchy represents being white. So all of the constructive things, the things that's proven to work, they categorize that as white. And so when people hear anti-white, you know, they think they are actually doing something against the so-called race of white people, which again, white isn't a race, but they think they're doing something against that when in fact, they're just doing everything against morals, laws, decency. And you get to see all of these indecencies get heavily promoted through these agencies like CAA and Endeavor, which represent a lot of these celebrities that you see. And speaking of celebrity, you have Kim Kardashian, who made a statement about how hate speech is never okay or excusable. Basically, speaking against Kanye West. And again, this is why I highlight these stories, just to show you the blatant hypocrisy, when it comes to various things. But please believe, Kanye West marrying and procreating with Kim Kardashian will always make him a giant red flag that no one should actually take seriously, because he decided to hook up with that chick long after the fact it was exposed that the Kardashians a bunch of prostitute witches. So that bad decision making will always eliminate him from being the so-called genius that other people like to claim that he is. But this story is significant just to show you what it actually looks like when the system is working against you. The system isn't working against you if you still have all of these endorsement deals. You're not keeping it that much real if you're still getting supported by corporations, which, again, the Willie D's of the world and all these other black celebrities calling out Kanye West, they still have the full support of the CAAs and Endeavor agencies. And also, apparently, a documentary that was being worked on by MRC, that has also dropped Kanye West's documentary. So again, this is what you see as a real example of the system not messing with you any longer, detaching corporation by corporation. And I must highlight, CAA back in 2017 was exposed in cover-ups for Harvey Weinstein. So again, this company saw fit to defend and cover for Harvey Weinstein, who was actually being predatory against people and not just making statements online. But again, all of that gets swiped under the rug when that's a part of the agenda. Because again, we see obviously Harvey Weinstein ultimately got his, but it's not because they view what Harvey Weinstein did as wrong. He was just one of the sacrificial lambs. And plus, he became a sacrificial lamb mainly because people just didn't like him. Had nothing to do with his abuse or harassment of women. But anyway, CAA, the Creative Artists Agency, added to the list of yet another company that's dropped Kanye West. Meanwhile, other so-called black performers who have all the representatives and endorsement deals and sponsorships still supporting them, they'll be the ones that'll claim that they are against the system because they talk anti-white talk, which again, it's racially charged language and bigotry that the mainstream supports, mainly because it attacks culture and civilization. But if you were to imagine white as a race, then all that blatant anti-white racism that exists should make you not even care about the fact that Kanye West may be anti-Semitic. Because after all, who cares when it's these same companies that are allowing anti-white hate and anti-male hate to flourish in the mainstream all of the time? And they reward these people for it.